We're on the record in docket 23-00187. That's People of the State of Michigan versus Brianna Redmond. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Victoria Shinzing on behalf of the people.
And Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office here to represent Ms. Redmond, who's standing to my right.
And ma'am, you are Brianna Redmond? All right. This is the time set for preliminary examination today. Ms. Shinzing, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, it's my understanding that the defendant is going to accept a plea offer today.
Okay. And what is the nature of that plea offer?
The defendant will be pleading guilty to count 2 assault and battery under 750.81, which is a 93-day misdemeanor and or $500, and an added count 3 of larceny $200 to $1,000, which is under 750.3564A. That's a 1 year with $2,000 and restitution of $200 to the victim.
All right. So let me write that. So it's going to plead guilty to count 2 of assault and battery under 750.81. And that's 93-day and or
$500.
500. All right. And then they're going to plead guilty to. That's an added count 3, right?
Correct.
Added count 3. And that is, what's that one again?
Larceny $200 to $1,000.
Larceny $200 to $1,000. That's pursuant to 750.56A.
3564A.
3564A. 1 year. Is that a 1 year?
1 year, $2,000. And then dismiss count 1.
All right, I'll restate that for the record, and then Mr. Goodrich, you can indicate if I've got the plea offer right. The defendant's going to plead guilty to count 2 assault and battery under 750.81A. That's a 93-day and or $500, and an added count 3 of larceny $200 to $1,000. That's 750.356.
4A.
4A. Can't read my writing. That's 1 year and or $2,000 with a plea to count 2 and 3. Count 1 is to be dismissed.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. May I inquire of your client of their advice of rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So, Ms. Redmond, you've heard the negotiations and the offer made in this case.
Yes, sir.
You know that the ultimate penalty for assault and battery is 93 days and or $500.
Yes, sir.
And you understand that in count 3, the ultimate penalty for larceny $200 to $1,000 is 1 year and or $2,000.
Yes, sir.
All right. You have some rights in this case, in these 2 misdemeanor pleas. If you plead today, you'll be waiving your rights to a trial in this matter, and I'll walk you through those rights. All right, ma'am? All right. You have the right to a trial of any kind. You have the right to be tried by a jury. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to have the prosecutor prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty. You have the right to have the witnesses against you appear at trial. You have the right to question those witnesses. You, of course, are represented by Public Defender Luke Goodrich. He would be present to cross-examine any witnesses and contest any charges brought against you by the people. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the right to have the court order any witnesses in your defense? You have the right to remain silent during the trial, not to have that silence used against you, and to testify at trial if you choose to testify. If your plea is accepted, you'll give up the claim that the plea was a result of any promises other than the negotiations you've heard that was the result of any threats. It's your choice to plead guilty today.
Yes,
It's my understanding you wish to waive your right to a trial today and plead guilty.
yes, sir.
All right. You'll also be giving up the right to any appeals because you won't have an appeal from a jury trial. You will simply be pleading guilty today. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to have you raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
I do.
Okay. I'm going to bring your attention back to September 17th, 2022 on Malcolm X Street in the city of Lansing, Ingham County. Were you on Malcolm X Street in the city of Lansing on September 17th, 2022?
I believe so.
All right. And then in count 2, tell me in regards to Crystal, I'm going to Wojcicki, What did you do in regards to that person that makes you guilty of assault and battery?
Unfortunately, on that date, I don't really recall much of this incident that I've been told. I just kind of read the report and had some people tell me what happened. So I don't actually recall to be here to defend myself today.
Mr. Goodrich, this be a better no contest plea or?
Maybe, if that's the case, Your Honor. I can send that to the court, unless you wanna.
I read the report and that's all I have to go on.
All right.
I apologize, I did not realize.
Ms. Shinsing, any objection to the court reviewing the report? And I'll state it for the record for no contest plea for lack of memory.
I'm not here to say that I'm not guilty. I'm just here to say that I don't have
Understands that,
memory.
That's why they have no contest pleas, if that happens.
That's fine.
All right.
Uh,
So we'll have the email and then I'll indicate what I'm reading for the record. So all those rights are still the same. They just go in lieu of the no contest plea as opposed to the admission, okay?
Understood.
Your Honor, should I email it to you directly or to your staff?
To my staff and they'll print it off. I don't even know how to email me directly.
Okay.
So I'm not even sure how how to do that.
I did send the email.
All right. I think we're waiting for it.
Oh.
Ms. Shinsing, you got it? It's just internet. It's just internet stuff. What it's gotta go through together.
Yeah, if you need to take another matter, we could have a seat.
Or Ms. Shinsing forwards hers.
I did just.
Okay, just in case. Just to do it multiple routes. I don't think we have anything else, do we?
Probably no, then I
All
call
right.
the hallway.
Yeah, so we're fine.
Got on my email, logged back in, and I still have it. Oh, there we go. All right.
Got it?
I got it from Michigan.
Oh, I just got it from Michigan.
I still did it.
You know, that's not the first time that's come from not public defenders. I don't know if it's an encryption or,
Earlier in the week, what happened was, I think it found that there was a social security number in it, and it like made it so that it restricted who could open it, and that.
that's fair enough. We're victims of our own security.
Yeah, I just got machine things. I never did Oh, Mr. Goodrich has just popped in. Challenging.
After Zoom yesterday, this is an easy fix. All right, so I'm in possession of in 20220053363. That's actually in file 2300187. I'm in possession of a police report, just so I have the right one. It's case number 225-190-8843. It's the Lansing Police Department. Is this the document both parties would like me to review for the no contest plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
Yes, Your Honor.
all right. So we've already had some indication. Let me look at it. All right, so the offense date and location of on Malcolm X Street on September 17th, 2022 is indicated in the police report. The victim indicates, and that's Miss Wigalski, that the defendant grabbed her, punched bunching her collar around her face, and struck her 3 times across the left side of her face, twice with a closed fist. So I believe that would there's nothing here that indicates that this would be in the act of self-defense. So as to count 2, did make an assault and battery upon the following person, Crystal Zagwalski. The no contest plea as to the factual basis is that this was the defendant had a offensive touching of another, as indicated in the police report, several punches to the face of Miss Zagwalski pursuant that occurred on September 17, 2022 on Malcolm X. As to count 3, did take a phone during the altercation, took the victim's phone, Miss Zagwalski's phone, and there's no objection that the phone was between the, is there any objection or is there any factual basis to indicate that the phone was over 200,000, but over $200, but less than 1,000?
Your Honor, I think we would stipulate to that.
All right. With that understanding, that occurred on September 17th on the Malcolm X address in the city of Lansing. Anything else in regard to the factual basis for counts 1 and an added count 3, Ms. Shinsing?
No, Your Honor.
Anything in regard to the factual basis for the no contest plea, Mr. Goodrich?
Just to clarify, that's counts 2 and 3.
Counts 2 and 3.
Nothing.
Right, and the count 2 and an added count 3. All right, with that understanding, those two, the basis for the no contest plea I will indicate as lack of memory. I find that there's a factual basis for both counts 2 and the added count 3. And so, ma'am, you're to go to probation, all right? Referring you to probation on the 5th floor. They're gonna do a report for me. You should answer any questions that they have for you. Be as candid as possible. They're gonna prepare a report, and then on the report, we're gonna see what options you have, okay? One of the things that I have, by taking a no contest please, I get to read the whole report. And so the report would indicate the different variety of witnesses that were available here, okay? Sentencing date,
April 25th at 1:30.
so the sentencing date is April 25th at 1:30. I would, if you're here, go to probation now and get it done, so you don't have to worry about it. And then we will back here on April 25th, and we'll see what options are available. Anything else for the record in docket 23-00187? Ms. Shinsing,
Nothing for the people, Your Honor.
anything, Mr. Goodrich?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, ma'am, we'll see you back here on April 25th at 1:30, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And you can take the no contest plea back. The factual basis.
Go on the record with Vincente Alvarado.
Sure. Just Robinson, how are you?
Good, Your Honor, how are you?
Good.
We can go on to.
So we're on the record in docket 23-0059. That's Vincente Alvarado versus People versus Vincent Alvarado. This was a John Abbott case, and you're standing in for John Abbott. All
I
right.
am correct, Your Honor. Aaron Robinson, Assistant Public Defender, standing in for Mr. Abbott.
And ma'am,
Victoria Shinsing on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
time set for preliminary examination today. Ms. Shinsing, how are we proceeding today?
Your Honor, it's my understanding that we will be asking for, the defense will be asking for an adjournment at this time due to Mr. Abbott being in trial. People have no objection to that.
All right. We received, and Mr. Alvarado's not here today, is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. We received word Mr. Abbott's in trial. He indicated that he was in trial, and then we said, just get a stip and order to us. I understand he's in trial, so stip and order is not the easiest thing to do when you're in trial. So I will grant the motion. Motion to adjourn. Defense is in trial. I'll note for the record that previously the defendant waived his right to a preliminary examination within 21 days, so that's not an issue. And we'll reset the prelim for.
Excuse me, do we know if Mr. Abbott's available next week?
He should be.
Yeah. I don't know. You don't know. I'm not. You don't know his trial schedule.
I know that it was gonna continue this week. It was supposed to be yesterday as well, but with everything with MSU, they continued it out.
Right.
So assuming that all of the
Right.
jurors still keep showing up and everything, then I think it should be done by Friday.
All right. So do you want to set it for next Friday?
It's a PCC day, right? Sure.
It's up to you. Or Thursday.
Thursday looks solid. Why don't we aim for the Friday at
That probably is safer.
That's fine.
Friday at 9:30,
All right. We'll set it for Friday at 9:30,
which is the 20th.
which is February 24th. And then if there's anything that arises that comes out of trial, just tell Mr. Abbott to contact our office.
Will do. Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else for the record in docket 23-00059, Ms. Shinsing?
No, Your Honor, thank
Ms.
you.
Robinson?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Milks, how are you?
Oh, lovely.
Do you need some time to,
No, I think we're
Okay.
ready for Mr. Brown and Mr. Lavoy for PCC.
all right,
We just went ahead and took those off.
Took Brown off.
That was Mr. Abbott's case.
Yeah, Lavoy is with Ms. Robbins.
Oh, Miss Lavoy, I do not.
Chris- Christopher Lavoy.
Yes, that's my case. Mr. Brown's here, so if it's already been taken care of, I'll just tell him he can go.
We
All right.
followed the email that.
No problem.
Mr. Needs received this morning. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Then did you want to go on Lavoy?
We sure can.
Okay. So we're on the record in docket 23-00387. That is people of the state of Michigan versus Christopher Lavoy. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Your Honor, Victoria Shinsing on behalf of the people.
Aaron Robinson, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Mr. Lavoy.
And is, Ms. Shinsing, how are we proceeding today? This is set for a probable cause conference.
Your Honor, it's my understanding that Mr. Lavoy is not here today, but I will defer to Ms. Robbins.
All right, Ms. Robinson?
I have not seen him, Your Honor. I don't know if he's checked in on Zoom yet. It looks like from the police report that he may be struggling a little bit with homelessness.
Right.
So if that's the case, Your Honor, I would just ask that instead of issuing a bench warrant right away, you would issue a 48-hour hold.
Any objection to the 48-hour hold, Ms. Shinsing?
No, Your Honor.
I don't have any prior failed to appears. So this was set for 8:30. It's now 9:08. It appears the defendants failed to appear for PCC today. I'll issue a bench warrant and bond forfeiture with a 48-hour hold.
Thank you, Your Honor. And to confirm, do you have a phone number in the file ending in 6999?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah, I do.
just making sure we have the same one. Thank
We
you.
do.
I have a different.
You have, there's a different phone number in the computer. Do you want that one?
Yeah. If I could get that.
All right. All right, anything else for the record? Docket 23-00387, Ms. Shinsing.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything, Ms. Robinson?
No, Your Honor, thanks.
All right, you should be all set.
Did we take can too?
Let's see, Canty,
Yes,
Yeah, we.
that's still out, yeah.
we took him off the docket.
that off.
Okay. Cases are today.
And then if Ms. Shinsing, you need to call in, you need to excuse any witnesses or call anybody.
I'll do that. Thank you.
23-00325. That is people of the state of Michigan versus Latoris Roberts. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you. Good morning, Your Honor. Erin Housefield on behalf of the people.
Hey, good morning, Your Honor. Stephen Milks on behalf of Mr. Roberts. Mr. Roberts is not here.
All right. This is the time set for preliminary examination today. Ms. Housefield, how are we proceeding?
And thank you, Your Honor. At this time, the people would ask for a bench warrant bond forfeiture.
Mr. Milks, any response?
And not to that, Your Honor. I would just note for purposes of the record, I've already called the hallway, checked for him. He was here. We actually held the PCC. The court would recall it was over Zoom. And so I believe there's every reason to continue today's court date. I have had difficulty getting a hold of him previously in the past few weeks. So.
All right, thank you. This was scheduled for 8:30. It is now 9:18. Here's the defendants failed to appear. Court will issue a bench warrant and bond forfeiture.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else for the record in 23-00325, Ms. Housefield?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything, Mr. Mills?
No, thanks, sir.
You're all set. You're just gonna do that on the way back?
Yeah, tell them to do that on the way back.
That's Mr. Bell, right? Fighting for lawyers, Bill. Nobody fights for lawyers, but we do. sir, from, under the moniker GPU Sparrow, would you please identify yourself?
Say your name.
David Warewine.
All right, Mr. Warewine, you're here, your case is scheduled for 9:30, and your public defender is Mr. Milks.
Yes.
All right, stand by. I'll let him know that you're here.
Okay.
15 minutes just to see if he shows up.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll put that, and then we'll call that in 15 minutes. I don't know if you, without counsel, maybe he'll show up, so. And then I know other lawyers are in other courtrooms, so,
I think we are ready to go for Aaron White.
okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
So we're on the record in docket 22-02219. That's People of the State of Michigan versus Aaron White. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Point, Your Honor, Victoria Shinzing on behalf of the people.
Morning, Your Honor. Attorney Luke Garinger, P 85677, appearing on behalf of defendant Aaron White, who's standing to my right. Mr. White, could you please state your name for the record?
Aaron Thomas White.
All right, thank you, sir. And Mr. Garinger, it's Gehringer?
That's correct.
Ms. Shinsink, this is the time set for preliminary examination today. How are we proceeding?
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, my witness has been subpoenaed. However, they have not appeared, so I'm unable to proceed this time.
Your Honor, defendant would move to dismiss.
All right. So at this time, this was set for prelim today. The complaining witness has been subpoenaed and has not appeared. Have you had any contact other than the subpoena with your witness, Ms. Shinsing?
One moment, Your Honor.
Okay.
We have, Your Honor, but it's my understanding that she's not going to appear.
Okay, so it's not, she's uncooperative at this time.
Correct.
All right. All right. Defense moves to dismiss.
Correct, Your Honor.
That's granted today without prejudice. So, Mr. White, you understand, if I dismiss without prejudice today, that means the people could reissue on new information if they have it, or on information that they have on a future date. But for our purposes today, the case is dismissed. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I think I have the Nolly Cross. Oh, this is just a direct. All right. I've signed the order of dismissal. Anything else for the record in docket 22-02219, Ms. Shinsing?
Nothing for the people, Your Honor.
Anything, Mr. Garinger?
Nothing further other than we be able to obtain a copy of that from your office?
Yes, you can get it from Mr. Neves. The only is, I think he's got to be here for the. Okay, so Ms. Powell, if you could help us out and get a copy, that would mean, so yes, we will give you a copy. The original's in the file.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You can do it? All right. All right, so we're all set. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garinger.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, so Ms. Shinsing, just so you know, Mr. Kindle has joined us by Zoom. He's indicated that he may be COVID positive, so we'll require some documentation. We'll wait for everybody to come back and we'll put that on the record.
And I guess whether he has an attorney.
Yeah. So you are Alvin Kindle. You're gonna have to unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
All right, stand by, Mr. Kindle. We'll call your case in a second.
Tell him I got COVID. Man.
put it on the record. So we're on the record in docket 23-00193. It's people of the state of Michigan versus Alvin D. Kindle. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Victoria Shenzing on behalf of the people.
Sir, you are Alvin Kindle.
Yes, sir. I am Alvin
All right.
Kendall.
Mr. Kindle, you are without counsel today, is that correct?
Yes, sir, Mr. Flores. I'm also, sir, I'm trying to.
I really can't hear you, sir. So you're gonna have to get closer to your device.
Yes, sir. I have
All right.
COVID. It's hard for me to speak up. It's hard for me to hold anything down. It's hard for me to have a whole consciousness. I've been in and out of consciousness all morning waiting for court, sir. I was asking, can this be postponed, sir, for at least a week or so?
Okay, first of all, sir, I can barely make out what you're saying. Okay, I can barely make out what you're saying. So that's the first problem we have.
I'm gonna try the other device. Hold on. Hold on.
You got it on speaker?
Huh?
Is that on speaker?
Volume the speaker on this phone. The tab. Hold on.
Mr. Kindle, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, but you can't hear me. My device is not functioning well, sir.
Okay, I can hear you pretty well right now.
Okay, I'm sorry, sir.
All right, there's twofold here. One is, well, you're coming in on a different device, so I'll see if that device works. You're gonna
Yes,
have
sir.
to keep. Okay, and you've got to. All right, sir, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, I can hear you too. Perfect. So the first problem is you don't have counsel today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. The second problem is you're an indication that you have COVID. You've been diagnosed with COVID. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's why you're joining us by Zoom today, because you cannot appear in person. Is that correct?
That's the only reason, sir, is the COVID.
All right. So I'm gonna find did you contact the public defender's office in regards to seeking representation?
Yes, sir. I surely did, sir. And I just contacted them yesterday at 4 o'clock, and she passed me for a defender, sir. I'm sorry, I can't properly. She passed me for a defender, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, you were denied on February 9th, so you've made reapplication. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm gonna find, and all this should be in person. So the one thing, when we reschedule this for the new exam date, and I'm gonna find there's good cause to adjourn. There's two things you need to bring. You need to bring any documentation of who's representing you from the public defender's office.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
The second is you have to bring some medical documentation that you have COVID or that you're being treated for COVID. That's going to be a necessity, because I mean that'll indicate whether the court's going to hold you in show cause for your failure to appear live. You understand that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm going to adjourn this for good cause.
Mr. Flores. Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Kindle. Yes.
Yesterday, at the last meeting for the show of cause, I also had COVID during then. My wife tried to talk to the people yesterday, and for whatever reason, they showed they showed a lapse from the last meeting, as if I didn't show up, but I had Zoom authorization to show up. It did say I did not have to show in person. It would, that long as I participated within the Zoom meeting and I put in all the authorization, it should show that I showed up. But the people told her that there was a show of cause, like I was not participating, like I didn't show up or participated at the last meeting.
So that was your conversation with the public defender's office?
Yeah, they told my wife that, and they cleared, and until they cleared it. Yeah.
I don't know anything about that. All I know is that in the next hearing, you have to show up live with documentation indicating why you didn't show up live today. And
Yes, sir.
you have to contact the public defender's office in order to get representation, or bring legal representation on your own.
Yes, sir.
This is now we were at the PCC February 10th. So we're gonna adjourn this for good cause, and I'm gonna indicate that that D is to seek legal representation.
Yes, sir.
And as you know, your first stop is with the public defender's office.
Yes,
and
sir.
then also that you are to bring medical documentation concerning a non-appearance for COVID.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We will, so I'll adjourn for good cause. A new date.
March 3rd.
Okay, March
3rd, I'm sorry, at 9.
March 3rd at 9. All right, so you are to get counsel and to bring and you have the public defender's office because you've indicated you've talked to them, and you're to bring any documentation concerning your non-appearance for COVID on March 3rd at 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have that date, sir, March 3rd at 9 o'clock?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Ms.
sir.
Shinsing, you have that date from the prosecutor's office?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Anything else for the record, docket 23-00193, Ms. Shinsing?
Nothing for the people, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Kindle, we'll see you on March 3rd, all right?
Yes, sir, for surely.
All right, you're free to leave the Zoom courtroom. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Brooks, did you need to meet with Mr.?
We met already.
Oh, you met already? Okay.
We can go on the record with that.
All right. All right, we're on the record in dockets 22-03572 and 22-03573. It's people of the state of Michigan versus David Werwin. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
On behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Stephen Milks on behalf of Mr. Weirwin, who is present with us via Zoom from Sparrow Hospital.
And sir, you are David Werwin?
Yes.
All right, you can hear me all right, Mr. Werwin?
Yes, fine.
All right, this is the time set for probable cause conference. Ms. Shinsink, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, my understanding that Mr. Milks has a motion, so I will defer to him.
All right, Mr. Milks?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, at this time, we are requesting a brief adjournment. It's mostly for the economy's purposes here, Your Honor. My client is currently in Sparrow Hospital. I believe it was initially due to a PRT. It's now, there's gonna be some voluntary services that are coming up. We expect that he'll be leaving in about a week or so. We'd just like to get him set up with those services, as well as getting a little bit more firm placement. He is currently on medications. I've got every reason to believe that he's competent. Having spoken with him, but he's on a number of different medications, and we just want to make sure that he's continuing with all those services going forward here. So it's just for hopefully for the betterment of all of Your Honor.
All right, and are you seeking an adjournment to another PCC date?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank
All
you.
right.
Sorry.
does your client, and so I'll leave this to your discretion. Does he plan to waive his right to a prelim within 21 days, or is this an adjournment for good cause?
I think it could be both, Your Honor. We could do
Okay.
a waiver on the record for the 21 days. I think that'd be absolutely fine.
All right, so you think he's lucid enough? There's no concern in that, on that level?
Yeah, 100%, Your Honor.
Right.
With the medications he's on, he's absolutely competent. I believe.
Any objection to a waiver of the 21-day or an adjournment in this matter, Ms. Jensen? All right. So may I inquire of your client of the waiver of 21 days?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes.
All right, so Mr. Ware, when you understand you have a right to a preliminary examination within 21 days of your date of arraignment, you understand that, sir?
Yes, I do.
And a preliminary examination is a probable cause hearing in which the people of the state of Michigan would have to prove by probable cause evidence that a crime has been committed and the identity of the person who committed that crime. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
And you, of course, are represented by the public defender, Mr. Milks, and he would be present to cross-examine any witnesses and contest any charges brought against you. If you waive your right to a prelim within that 21-day period, you are not waiving your right to a prelim in general. You're just waiving your right to have that prelim happen within 21 days. Is it your intent today to waive your prelim within that 21-day period so that we can adjourn it today? And I can rephrase that if you'd like me to.
Yes, I don't understand the question.
All right. You have a right to a prelim within 21 days of your date of arraignment. In order to adjourn this, we're gonna have to waive the prelim within 21 days. So you'll only be waiving your right to have that prelim within 21 days. You will not be waiving to have your prelim in general. So do you waive your right to a prelim within 21 days?
Yes.
All right. I find the waiver of the 21-day to be knowing, voluntarily, and accurately made. Yeah, and we're gonna set it for PCC. And we'll set a new date. So we'll adjourn for a new PCC, which I think that makes sense in this case. And then for preliminary examination. And you said he's going to be in another week, you said?
It could be up to another week.
And up to another week?
How about we do PCC on March 3rd at 8:30?
Okay, PCC, March 3rd. An exam on March 18th? 17th. On March 17th at 8:30. Will that work, Mr. Milks?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Just fine, thank you.
All right, Mr. Werewin, your new probable cause conference that has been adjourned to March 3rd at 8:30. Your preliminary examination is March 17th at 8:30. Please keep in contact with your attorney, Mr. Milks, from the Public Defender's Office, if you have any questions. All right, sir?
Yes.
All right. Anything else for the record, docket 22-03573, Ms. Shinsing?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Milks?
No, thank you, sir.
All right. That's all for the record in those files.
That's it.
Can we, do you have on Mr. Hooper on your,
Yes, I believe Mr. Milks is going to get him right now.
Okay, all right.
I have not.
I was just wondering because I saw Mr. Milks here and I knew that was his.
Yeah, I think he's out there. so
All right. And then we're waiting on Mr. But yeah, Mr. Austin, Mr. Goodrich are in other courts. So.
And also, Mr. Bell waiting for Mr. Pike, so in a different court. Huh? Oh.
record in docket 2019023114. That is people of the state of Michigan versus Oliver Arno. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Good morning, Your Honor. Victoria Shinzing on behalf of the people.
And Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office here to represent Mr. Arno.
And sir, you are Oliver Arno?
Sir.
All right. This is the time set for preliminary examination today. Ms. Shinsing, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, the necessary witness was subpoenaed today. However, they did not appear, so we are unable to proceed at this time.
With that being the case, Your Honor, the defense would move to have this matter dismissed at this time.
Defense asked for the dismissal. People are unable to proceed because of the witness. Have you had any other contact with the witness concerning this case? That's really
This
for,
time, I'm not sure, Your Honor.
Your Honor, it's
Covering,
in
but
communicating with Ms. Maycomber, who had been handling this.
that's correct. This is a Miss McComber case.
It's my understanding that the alleged witness had asked their office to dismiss the matter.
All right. All right, so defendant moves to dismiss, witness failed to appear, plaintiff unable to proceed. So the case is dismissed without prejudice, which means, sir, that the prosecutor could reissue if they chose to. However, for our purposes today, the case is dismissed and I will sign an order of dismissal to that effect, okay? All right, and if you need a copy of it, Mr. Goodrich, Mr. Neves can give you a copy of it. All right.
Pretty much just have a seat right there.
Anything else for the record in docket 19023114, Ms. Shinsing?
no, Your Honor.
Mr. Goodrich?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. That's all set for that record.
Unless you already have it. Good job. Okay.
Yes. Unfortunately.
Ms. Lawton, how are you?
Very good, Judge. How are you?
I'm good. I only get to see you in the hallway in front of Judge Ward's
I
court,
know.
so.
I'm kind of bouncing back
Yeah.
and forth between Simmons and you today, just to see what's going on.
Oh, right, I never get back on. Sean Reed. So we'll probably just leave that one. We'll call that later.
Yeah, he was here.
Yeah. So we're on the record in docket 2101-885. People of the state of Michigan versus Timothy Scott Hauser. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Aaron Housefield on behalf of the people.
And Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office here to represent Mr. Hauser, who's standing to my right.
And sir, you are Timothy Hauser?
Yes, sir.
All right. This is the time set for a preliminary examination. Ms. Housefield, how are we proceeding?
Thank you, Your Honor. It is my understanding that the defendant will be entering an unconditional waiver. The people would also unconditionally waive their right to hold the preliminary examination and ask that the matter be bound over. I will ask. Okay. Your Honor, there would be one amendment to the complaint. For purposes of count 3, I've gone over this with Mr. Goodrich, but the charge will remain the same. The PAC code will remain the same, but the information that the people have is that the defendant was convicted of controlled substance possession of cocaine less than 25 grams, which is a specified felony, and that the requirements for regaining eligibility had not yet been met. So the people will file an amended information at circuit. I just make that record here so that the defendant hears it. But it is my understanding that the parties are both entering that unconditional waiver for the matter to proceed to circuit court. There has been an offer extended, which will travel to circuit court, and that is for the defendant to plead guilty to an added count 4, possession of methamphetamine, and to plead as charged to the count 2, weapons carrying concealed. There is a sentencing agreement, Your Honor, which is essentially a cap to whatever remaining time he has on his current MDOC sentence. Mr. Goodrich believes it to be approximately 7 months. I won't dispute what that time is when we arrive at circuit. It will just be that any jail or prison imposed would not exceed that which he is currently serving.
All right. So
I'm sorry, and then the people would dismiss count 1 and 3.
All right, so I'll indicate for the record, it's my understanding this is going to be an unconditional waiver. Negotiations are continuing. There's bound over on all counts. There's an amendment to count 3, which is the possession of cocaine instead of the possession of methamphetamine. That amendment will happen in circuit court. There's an offer that's outstanding at this point in time. And that is an added count 4 of possession of methamphetamine and a plea to that with a plea to the CCW, which is count 2. With a plea to those 2, counts 1 and 3 are to be dismissed. And as part of the sentencing agreement, that there's no further time beyond the cap at MDOC.
That is correct, Your Honor.
And Ms. Hauser, Mr. Hauser, that is your understanding of the negotiations that have taken place?
Yes, sir.
By counsel. All right. Counsel may inquire of your client of his advice on the waiver.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You understand, Mr. Hauser, that you have the right to a preliminary examination today?
Yes, sir.
And a preliminary examination is a probable cause hearing, which the people would have to prove by probable cause evidence of the crime that's committed and the identity of the person who committed that crime.
Yes, sir.
You're represented by Mr. Goodrich today, who's here. He would contest any charges, cross-examine any witnesses brought against you in this court on today's file. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you're bound over on all counts and negotiations that I've indicated, you will not have a preliminary examination today. You'll forever leave district court. You go to circuit court where the case will continue with an open offer and negotiations are to continue. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Is it your preference today to waive your right to a preliminary examination and have the case bound over on all counts for negotiations to continue?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I find the waiver to be knowing, understandably, and voluntarily made. We've talked about the plea agreement. Prosecutor, Miss Prosecutor, you also agreed to waive your right to preliminary examination.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. Anything concerning the waiver, Ms. Housefield, on 2101-885?
No, thank you.
Anything, Mr. Goodrich?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, sir. Keep in contact with Mr. Goodrich. He'll provide you with any dates in circuit court that you need to be. He knows where to find you. Anything else on the record This case is bound over to circuit court and done here in district court.
Nothing for the people. Thank you.
No, you haven't.
All right, thank you. That's all for the record. So, should I sign it or you should sign it first? Yeah.
you Christopher Lavoy?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lavoy, you need to recontact the clerk's office. You have a bench warrant right now. They'll get that address for you and they'll get your case reset. Your case
Okay.
is scheduled for 8. All right, so you wanna contact the clerk's office. They'll get this reset for you.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
So what do I do? How do I do? What do you got the number for me?
You already called them and they told you to get on Zoom.
Yeah.
You'll just want to call that number back.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Have a good day.
Thank you. Oh.
people of the state of Michigan versus DeAndre Bell. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Adam Pfeiffer on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jared Austin appearing on behalf of Mr. Bell. He is present in the courtroom, currently in the jury box.
All right, and you are DeAndre Bell?
Yes.
Okay, this is the time set for a preliminary examination today. Did you want Mr. Bell to sit next to you or?
If I could, please.
Okay, so Mr. Bell, you should sit next to counsel. This is time set for preliminary examination. Mr. Pfeiffer, how are we proceeding?
We are, believe we're going to be proceeding with an examination today, or at least the beginnings of one.
All right.
I had two witnesses, that being Ramisha Turner and Officer Hannah Robeson. Officer Robeson texted me this morning. She received her subpoena. She is woke up very much sick and is unable to come to court today. So I'll be starting with Ms. Turner and then seeking continuance at the end of this.
All right.
I would like to put on record the offer that was made and rejected by the defendant. In this case, the defendant is charged with count 1, firearm possession by a felon, count 2, carrying concealed weapon, which as an habitual fourth offender are maximum penalties of life. And then count 3, the misdemeanor domestic violence, punishable by up to 93 days in jail and $500. The offer was for the defendant to plead guilty to count 3 domestic violence, including restitution for incident that happened in June, July of $150. And in exchange, people would dismiss the life offenses in the matter. The defendant has rejected that offer, and so people prepared to proceed today.
All right, the record reflects the offer that was denied by the defendant. Anything in regard to the offer, Mr. Austin?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct. That is the offer that was made. I conveyed that to Mr. Bell. He indicated to me he wished to decline that and wishes to exercise his right to have his preliminary hearing.
Are there any preliminary matters to come to the court's attention before we get started on the prelim, Mr. Pfeiffer?
Nothing other than what's already been discussed.
All right, Mr. Austin?
No, Your Honor, since we're only having one witness today, I don't think a sequestration order would be necessary.
All right, if either counsel sees anybody that is in the courtroom as they come in, you know your case better than me. You can anticipate whether they're going to be a witness in a future date, and you can let the court know, and the court will invoke a sequestration order. With that understanding, Mr. Pfeiffer, are you ready to call your first witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
The people may call their first witness.
People called Ramisha Turner.
All right, Ms. Turner, I'm gonna have you step right up here. Okay, you can come right in front of me here. I'm gonna have you spell your first name and your last name.
Ramisha, R-A-M-E-S-H-A, last name Turner, T-U-R-N.
Okay, ma'am, I'm gonna have you raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right, ma'am, have a seat here. And I'm gonna have you project as loud as you can, really for recording purposes, so we get a good record of this, okay?
Okay.
Okay, and you might wanna scoot up close to the mic so it catches. All right, Mr. Pfeiffer, you may proceed.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Turner. Ms. Turner, on July 29th, 2022, did you have contact with officers from Lansing Police Department?
Yes, I did.
And was that in regards to an incident with DeAndre Bell?
Yes, it was.
How do you know Mr. Bell?
We dated previously.
Say it again, ma'am?
We dated previously.
Okay, thank you.
Do you see him here in the courtroom today?
Yes, I do.
Could you please point to him, maybe identify something about him that's different from the people around him?
He's just sitting right there with braids in his hair.
Thank you. If the record reflects you pointing towards the defense table, that defendant is the only one with braids in his hair in that direction.
All right, any objection to the identification?
Without objection.
Okay, without objection for preliminary examinations, the witness has identified the defendant.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, were you with DeAndre Bell at 826 North Walnut Street?
I had pulled up to drop off some food.
Was that the correct location though?
Yes, 826.
And is that in Lansing?
Yes, it is.
Is that in Ingham County?
Yes, it is.
What's at that location?
Apartment complex.
Is that was that Mr. Bell's apartment?
No.
So you pulled up to that location. What can you tell me happened next?
I was dropping off some food for some kids in the apartment complex that he asked me to. And I didn't want to get out of my car. He wanted me to get out of the car. We were already arguing, so I said, I'm not getting out. He walked up on my car and he smacked me through the window. Like my window was down. He reached his hand through there and he smacked me with a pack of meat.
A pack of meat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, first of all, is this the driver's side window?
Yes.
And what do you mean by a pack of meat?
Like I had handed him the food and he took it out of the bag and he was like, so you're really not gonna come in? Like flaring up his arms. I could already tell by the body language it was a problem. Then he proceeded to put his hand in my window, and he smacked me with the pack of meat.
Now, the meat, was this thing of hot dogs?
Yes, it was. A jumbo pack
Jumbo
with
pack.
3 layers.
Did it hurt?
Yes, it did.
Did you suffer any injuries as a result of that?
My face was just red. I had a headache for 2 days.
So what happened after he smacked you in the face with this?
I had proceeded to call the police. I actually tried to chase him down with my car, which resulted me going down a one-way the wrong way. And he ended up hitting like a back alley or something, and he had one of his friends come pick him up.
Okay.
So I stayed and waited to talk to the police.
Now, when you tried to pull away in your car, where was Mr. Bell at?
Heading north on Walnut Street.
Was he on foot?
Yes.
And at some point, while he was running on foot, did he drop something?
Yes.
Now, do you remember what that was?
I do not remember what it was.
Is that because it's been a bit?
I don't remember what it was because I never clearly saw it. All I know it was black.
Do you remember telling Officer Robeson that you saw a gun?
No.
You don't remember saying that?
No, I don't remember
Okay.
saying that at all.
Are there some things about this incident that are just difficult to remember?
No, I remember.
I don't object to leading.
I can withdraw it.
Yeah, withdraw the question and allow you to rephrase. It was leading in nature.
Absolutely. When you called the police, was he still near your vehicle?
No.
Okay. So he had already started to get away when you called the cops?
Mhm.
Got it.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm
thank you.
sorry.
Your Honor, at this time, the people have no further questions.
Cross-examination?
One moment, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Austin,
I have no
go ahead.
questions.
All right. Without any cross-examination, may this witness be excused, Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Austin?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Witness, you're excused. Thank you for your appearance today. Mr. Austin, any further proofs today? I'm sorry, Mr. Pfeiffer, any further proofs today?
No, Your Honor, we seek a continuance for the testimony of Officer Hannah Robeson, who once again was unavailable today due to illness.
Response to the request for continuance once the preliminary examination started.
Yes, Your Honor. I would oppose and I would ask the court to deny the request for the adjournment. And I would just ask that the hearing be concluded with the testimony that we currently have.
Thank you. Any response, Mr. Pfeiffer?
The officer is a subpoenaed witness, a necessary witness whose testimony will be vital for the felony charges, count 1 and count 2. And therefore, I believe continuance is necessary.
All right. We've started the preliminary examination on docket 23-00249. Started, it appears we've had one witness testify, and that is Ramisha Turner. The officer was subpoenaed. The officer, because of illness, is not able to be here today. So the court will adjourn this already started pretrial preliminary examination, I should say, for the officer and future witnesses' testimony. That's Officer
Hannah Robeson.
Hannah Robeson. So we'll get a date for the continuation.
March 3rd at 9:30 work?
Mr. Austin, does March 3rd at 9:30 work for your schedule, Mr. Pfeiffer, for your schedule? I know you may both be in trial.
I might be. I think I have a circuit court trial on that day. That's possible. Oh, and we just went through this with Simmons. You're not free March 10th, right, Jared?
Correct.
So after March 10th?
March 17th, that's open with the court.
You have to figure out what our prelim day is on that week.
March 7th to 8:30.
March 17th at 8:30?
That works for the people.
Mr. Austin, does that date work?
It does, Your Honor. Thank you.
So March 17th at 8:30, and the defendant will need to be read out of the Department of Corrections. Anything else for the record on docket 23-00249, Mr. Pfeiffer?
Not from the people, Your Honor.
Anything, Mr. Austin?
Nothing on behalf of Mr. Bell. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That's all for the record in that file.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Then we have the other file.
See, that's what I was worried about.
Well, it's right here staring at me.
Yes, please, on his way down on the 3rd floor.
All right.
Hey, Jared, you want to stand in for the PD's office for Dale?
For Mr. Colwriter, we're just leaving a prelim on. Sure, why not?
I already talked about with him, but he left court like a while ago.
So we're on the record in docket 23-00398. That is the people of the state of Michigan versus Deshaun Reed, set for probable cause conference. All parties appeared. Will the parties introduce themselves for the record? I understand, Mr. Austin, you're standing in for Mr. Colwriter today.
Yes.
Correct.
The only party who isn't here is the defendant, but he's in lockup and unable to appear due to the jail move.
Right.
Adam Pfeiffer on behalf of the people.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Jared Austin appearing on behalf of Mr. Reed, who I understand is in custody and is not present, filling in for counsel of record, Mr. Dale Colwriter.
Right, and for the record, Mr. Colwriter, I understand he's in trial, and I understand that since we're closed Thursday, Friday, Tuesday, that we weren't transporting anybody over from the county jail. This is a probable cause conference. My understanding, we're just leaving this on for preliminary examination.
Yes, Your Honor. I spoke about this with Mr. Colwriter in the hallway earlier today. I don't think he realized we needed to go on the record for it, and so he just left. But there is no offer at this time, as I took the case on as a vertical yesterday, and we're leaving it set for examination.
All right, and you know, I put these on the record. I don't think they have to be put on the record. But while we have everybody here, we'll put it on the record. Any comment, Mr. Austin?
No, Your Honor, other than if that's what Mr. Pfeiffer says, I have zero reason to dispute that.
All
So
right.
just ask that the matter be continued on as scheduled.
All right, great. Okay, that's all for the record, 23-00398. You should be all set, Mr. Pfeiffer, Mr. Austin. Thank you for your appearance today on this very busy day for both of
Yes,
you.
Thank you, Judge, and
I've been done
Again,
for
I-
hours.
I appreciate the.
I knew exactly where to find you. You were actually not a hard person to find.
He was just the last man on bat in every.
He
courtroom.
did. We were all fighting over lawyers today.
I said they're still running something in Buchanan's right,
Oh.
there's Buchanan's right now.
What?
Yeah, they're still going. It's Ron Barry.
Oh, God.
Nothing
Oh,
makes
did I
for an exam like the magic word